Recently, it was a dramatic scene at the headquarters of the Joint Admission and Matriculation Board, JAMB, in Abuja, when a 19-year-old Nedu John, who accused the board of altering his examination score, was handed over to the police. Now, according to reports, he claimed he scored 380 in the examination conducted and was surprised to see 265 when the results were released.
I never expected it.
The interesting thing about this story was that he convinced his father that this was a wrongdoing from JAMB, and they got a lawyer who sued JAMB for 1 billion naira, for physical and emotional trauma. That must have been like an expensive trauma. Maybe he got knocked down by a speed train while thinking about the results. And the funniest of it all, when they got to JAMB headquarters in the presence of the registrar, they gave him one last chance to come clean and tell them if the result he had with him was an Oluwole version. If you want to know what Oluwole document is, just go to Google. But he insisted he scored 380. So I can imagine him trying to tell his father that it's 380 or nothing. And the father will be like, this boy is brilliant. This is an aberration. Even the lawyer that is hustling for his own legal fee will be like, okay, we'll fight this to the end. This is injustice. Eventually, the board presented evidence that the result he had with him was altered, and they handed him over to the police in the presence of his father. Now, the big question is, what kind of welcome ceremony will be held for this boy whenever he returns home? He made his father hire a lawyer. They traveled from Enugu to Abuja. So after all the bragging and the spendings, only to be called a fraudster. So, no. I trust my father. If I was in his shoe, I would even prefer they sentence me to life imprisonment instead of coming back home. Because I know what is waiting for me. So moving on. Actor and humanitarian Tonto Dikeh has parted ways with her recent lover, Prince Green, just after 3 months of an affair that made a lot of young ladies shout, God, when? The love affair that was gradually becoming a prayer point for single mothers who were hoping to fall in love again started having cracks when an Instagram blogger reviewed some leaked audio where the prince allegedly said a lot of derogatory things about his woman. King Tonto didn't waste time before calling it quits, but her ex-lover has been on different savage missions on the internet, trying to unleash some clapbacks. He has called a lot of unprintable names with allegations of cheating on him not too long after the opening prayer in their relationship. And he has even gone as far as hailing her ex-husband, for being man enough to tolerate her, like something like, Baba, you try, no be small, So I could remember when this relationship was made public for the first time, and she was being admonished by fans like, what, can you just keep this off social media, please? But here we are wishing that she finds love again. In this life, as long as you have patience, person will play 1-1 for inside Ludo, you go still play 6-6. Another relationship drama ensued on social media, but this time around, it was Annie Macaulay Idibia taking to Instagram stories to express her dissatisfaction at the way her husband, Innocent Idibia, popularly known as Tubaba, has refused to keep his baby mamas at arm's length. Now, Nigerians aren't taking this as a serious news because we got the memo a long time ago.
I like woman, I dey straightforward.
So that sounds like case closed, right? So mentioning his family in her rant brought about an inter-family missile exchange, with plenty shades of dragging and breaking of family ties. Now, Baba chose not to respond to the whole drama, Baba just went by the way of... But I wonder why he's always in the news for women issues.
So if you want to criticize me, talk small, cause you know only pass my brother.
Baba no vessel, I don't keep quiet. Anyway, Annie has restored Idibia as part of her Instagram bio, and life has moved on for the Idibias. But what is the fate of family members who have been caught in this crossfire? Should we be expecting a sequel to this movie at the family level? So just when we thought we have seen the height of relationships and marriages being dragged on the street of social media, broadcaster and comedian Nedu Emmanuel, popularly known as Nedu, made the news when his ex-wife Uzo Amaka called him out over allegations of domestic violence and him not living up to his responsibility as the father of her children. Yeah, grab your popcorn. Those allegations forced the entertainer to serve his clap back in a big dish, and it led to revelations which has left many dumbfounded. Now, he claimed there were no issues of violence perpetrated by him, but several other issues that led him to running a paternity test on their children, where he discovered that their first child was not his, like 0% probability, not even 10%, maybe there was small mixture. Now, let's see what Uzo Amaka has to say about this.
He had invited me a couple of times to Lagos and I turned it down. And after this relationship, shortly after this relationship ended, the previous relationship ended, I said, I was like, okay, fine. Let me just see this guy first. And we met up, and he seemed like a very cool person. And I decided to give it a try. And we started from there. And along the line, I found out I was pregnant. Trust me, if I knew that the child, that my son, my first child, was not for him, if I knew, I would never have walked in. I wouldn't have let him. I mean, I can't deliberately take another man's child and give to another person. No, I wouldn't do that. If I knew, I wouldn't have got married to him.
You go fair explanation. Now, letting him raise a child that is not his for a few years was not really my shock. But having the guts to call him out, despite knowing that he has such a classified information at his disposal. Now, what will be the effect of this old drama on the child a few years from now? Because the internet never forgets. Finally, do you think running a DNA test at birth should be a standard procedure, or will it give birth to another form of sharp practice, where the woman who is in doubt can just bribe the doctor ahead, So much to ponder on in this millennium. My name is Shegazi, and this is where we call it a wrap on this week's episode of Recently. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I'll see you next week. Bye for now.